Why am I struggling so much to overcome the sadness after my grandson was born with Down syndrome?
Oh, man. Tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Okay, so I feel like 3/4 of his life opportunities have just gone down the drain since he was born.
What does that mean?
To me, just things he cannot do with the diagnosis. Like he won't be able to drive. He won't be able to go to certain camps. No phone calls, no party invites. I'm just projecting so much negativity, I guess. I'm trying to get past this. And
there you go.
It gets triggered every time I see a newborn or young child that's typical versus his atypical diagnosis.
Yeah,
I'm just having a hard time with it. I don't know why.
It's number one, you know that his life's going to be different.
Yeah.
And in many ways, it's going to be a struggle.
Right.
And there's health implications, and depending on all sorts of factors, there's lifespan challenges. There's all sorts of issues. So you see that, and you're compassionate, and you care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's easy to overlook the fact that a typical kid's got to have tons of challenges too. They're just different.
Right.
And that a kid born with Down syndrome may have more. Right? So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're sad just means you're projecting this kid's going to have a tough road, and that breaks your heart. Right?
Yeah. Right.
The second one is you use the word project, and I love that. You had a picture when was it your daughter or your son?
It was my daughter.
Okay, when your daughter called you and said, I'm pregnant. We're going to have a baby.
Right.
Instantly, a picture was created in your mind. It was a VHS tape of what was going to happen. Sure. And so I think what you're dealing with is less grief that you have a healthy kid, less grief because the stories they're not necessarily true. Kids get invited to birthday parties, may be able to drive, maybe not. May be able to go to camps, maybe not to go to certain camps, but we'll get to go to other camps.
Right.
We'll laugh and have joy and have all kinds of things, a whole spectrum of things. But you had a picture in your head of what it was going to look like, and that picture's different now.
Right.
And so I think it's you acknowledging, I instantly create a picture, and I got to make peace with the fact that picture's going to be different. And it's okay to be sad about that.
Yeah.
The challenge is not projecting that sadness onto the kid, especially, and not projecting onto your daughter.
Right.
And then often the best solution to some of this stuff is information, education.
Right.
And so that means I'm gonna go meet with some parents who've got kids who've got Down syndrome. I'm gonna go become a grandparents of Down syndrome kids. Surely there's a Facebook group for that. There's a Facebook group for everything. But I'm gonna learn about this, and you're probably gonna find a significant amount of relief.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
But I want you to head into it. Right now, you feel sad, and you feel guilty that you feel sad, and so it's causing you to stay away, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like a gut kick.
Yeah.
Especially when I see other little kids, other newborns and children.
But that's a scarcity thing. Can you celebrate them? Can you whisper a quick prayer?
Yes.
I wish you an amazing life.
I just wish he has an amazing life. And
No. Every time you see a typical kid.
Yeah.
Every time you see a mother holding a brand new baby that quote unquote looks perfect to you, and you don't know that story of that baby. You don't know what congenital heart defects that baby has. You don't know what ticking time bomb, whatever that kid has. But I want you to practice the gratitude. I want you to wish them well.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. You wishing evil on them, are you being sad about them, or are you cheering them on? Quite honestly, it doesn't affect them at all. It does affect you.
Right.
And your body will respond to each one of those stories you choose to dwell on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to dwell on, screw that young mom right there, it's not fair, I can't believe it. Your body dumps adrenaline and cortisol into your body, into your bloodstream. You just stew in it and baste in it.
Gotcha.
Or if you see that mom and you run up and go, oh my gosh, my daughter just had a baby too. Let me see this thing. And you look at that mom and say, I wish both of you the absolute grandest adventures of all time.
Okay.
Then your body, you get to, your body lifts up, right? Your spirits lift. And even if you walk away and you're a little bit sad, that's okay.
Right. Okay.
Right? It's kind of like when somebody cuts you off in traffic. You can flip them off and bang the steering wheel and be like, you're probably a Democrat or you're probably a Republican, right? You can do that. And you have the stroke, not them. They don't even know. They're listening to their stupid music. They're not listening. They're not paying attention to you. Or you can just exhale, drop your shoulders, and whisper a quick prayer. Dear God, I hope you get to the hospital before his wife passes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those drops your heart rate, makes you a little bit more compassionate. You get to pick.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to beat yourself up for your feelings. Your feelings are your feelings are your feelings.
Right. Okay.
Well, but also, I don't know, man. I've just met some pretty extraordinary families where somebody's got Down syndrome. I've met some amazing people with Down syndrome. I've met some amazing families. And again, there's a spectrum of like social ability and ability to get a job versus they need more caretaking. It's just a wide spectrum. So who knows how it plays out and how it ends up. But man, there is so much laughter and joy and no way and fun and exploration and curiosity to be had. And I just suggest you double down on that is with all your heart.
Right. And yeah, you know, that's what I'll do moving forward for sure. But I was just trying to remember when my kids were little, I didn't even remember them having any friends that had Down syndrome or anyone in their class having Down syndrome.
Well, and back in the day, they sequestered everybody.
Gotcha.
They moved them into special class away from traditional, and they've integrated classes a lot more.
Yeah.
And so if you went to a public school right now, you'd probably see more students walking around with various, you know, like non-typical challenges.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think, or learning exceptionalities. I don't know the positive spin they've tried to put on it these days, but you're just gonna see a lot of kids with special needs more integrated into traditional classrooms.
Right.
And this is gonna sound bananas, but you weren't looking for it then, so that doesn't mean it wasn't there.
That's true.
Right. There's that psychology about like when you buy a red car, you see red cars everywhere.
Right.
Because you're finally looking for it.
Right.
And so whatever what was that Brene Brown says, whatever you go looking for, you're sure to find. Like you didn't go looking for it, so you could have seen it and not even registered it.
True.
And so you'll see it a lot more now.
Yeah.
And you'll smile a lot more, and you'll see the laughter a lot more, and you'll learn some skills.
Right.
But your feelings are your feelings, and they're okay. Don't beat yourself up for them.
All righty. I gotcha.
And then go do the next right thing.
Right.
And by the way, buckle up because you're about to be loved in a way you have never been loved before.
All right.
Okay.
All righty.